Good morning in the morning. I just got off my call with my new fellow Indian colleagues, and which I actually wanted to record, but I didn't because I need my phone. Oh yeah, I need my phone. That's why I cannot do it. Couple of things in my head this morning in terms of video and vlogging. I just made up my mind again about the thing I said yesterday about the speeding ticket, and just a quick input from me editing this video. I am talking about a speed ticket that I've gotten, and the video I've recorded to that doesn't have any tone because my phone was still connected to the car, whatever. Yeah, I just received the speed ticket and it really took me out. Like I was sort of furious and felt pushed and I couldn't accept it, which is quite unusual, let's say, for my state of mind lately. Usually when things happen that I cannot change, I am not putting too much energy in it usually. Yet what I'm speaking of here is a situation where I just couldn't let it go, and I just kept on thinking why this might have been, and that's why I keep recalling the talk about the speed ticket, which you haven't heard. So much for that. Sort of being in fear of the consequences, which is definitely one part of it, but I realized there is another aspect to it, which I just wanted to quickly recap here. And this is authority. I seem to have a huge problem with things that are put upon me that I don't have any choice of doing or not doing. And this really triggers me a lot. That's what I realized. And the authority part is not new to me, but it took me like the night or a couple of hours more to think about because I felt I was deeply disturbed by this fucking speeding ticket. And it's the authority part. It's the fact that it seems that I couldn't do anything about it, which totally triggers my response of trying to do something about it, or at least having an emotional reaction to it that sort of would love to do something about it, or be, what's the word for it? You know, while reacting again, or sort of emotionally reacting against doing what I'm told to do in terms of now paying the fine. And this definitely comes from my childhood. Most of the things I think I've not felt valued for my opinion, and maybe in the things, or maybe felt that lots of things were just put upon me that I wasn't asked about or wasn't asked how I felt about. And yes, so that's just a short recap in addition to yesterday's video, or yesterday's thought more. Another thing that I realized this morning after yesterday was a long day and I was tired as well, and today I didn't get up early as I want, or as early as I wanted, so my morning routine suffered again before this call. I have a call at 10 a.m. It should be easy to do, but yet I don't seem to manage to get up early to sort of prepare everything that I wanted to do. So this is definitely a process which I want to sort of solidify with this now, trying to go to bed early in order to be able to stand up earlier in the morning while also having a lot of sleep, or enough sleep, like hours or so. So I'm establishing this right now. I'm gonna try to go to bed before midnight, so at least when I have those meetings, so that I can get up at 8 or 8-ish and have enough time for my morning routine. And also I've had this feeling of drowning this morning, which is probably the same as, or has probably the same background as not planning on what I had to do, just having a lot of thinking about a lot of things that I had to do, but not really prioritizing them or listing them even, as well as there's not too much space here. Which means that if there's some things standing around, which I tend to do, at some point it just gets messy, or it seems messy. And I think it is true what they say about if you have an untidy surrounding, your head is untidy as well. Or probably as well as if you have an untidy mind, not sorted mind, so to speak, this will reflect on your surrounding, and this is also what I'm seeing. So I already cleaned up a little bit, but I will do that first, because otherwise I feel like I'm going crazy a little, which is also, it's not new, but one of the things that I definitely want to have more focus on, let's put it like that, because it's just the feeling that is better or worse, and for right now it's worse, and I really appreciate it, having more of the cleanness thing here, or tidiness at least, which also helps me because this is a quite an adult flat, not this student thing anymore. Yeah. Oh, by the way, another thing I realized is that I was quite hypocritical about, quite a hypocrite about this list thing. I had it in the first videos already, but I'm not a huge list guy, which I should be, and which I will be, at least for today. I'll definitely write down what I have to do today, because there's a bunch of things, and I realize I need to put more work into the work, actually, into editing and cutting and also publishing this here, which I have said already a couple of times, but again, it's a process. But also working for Windsor, I need to get out some emails and not make such a big deal out of it, just get them out there, try to get into contact with some people in order to make business. And then also they asked me to go over some of the aspects, some workflows, some action flows within the app in order to correct them, which will be quite a bit of work. And I just want to get it done, because also, like, I'm investing time now, which is not always being paid, but since these guys are very cool and very nice, I'll just want to invest something that I can put the next base of discussion in terms of money up upon, and I just need to do that. And for that, I think I'm gonna delete Instagram now, because it's just still wasting so much time. And I'm gonna use it again to advertise what I'm doing here. But yeah, for now, I'm trying to get breakfast in. And yeah, there's just, somehow it seems familiar that the day is too short to fit in all of the stuff. But I usually wouldn't have tried then by that thought, and probably not prioritize properly. But this is what I'm trying to change now. So gym, cutting or editing, and working for Windsor, not in this particular row. And what I keep forgetting, what I should not be forgetting, is the food in between and all of that, all of the little things that in the end crash my time schedule. But yeah, that was just a lot of self-talk right now. I hope that was okay. Talk to you later. There's one thing I just wrote down, which is kind of disturbing in a way. I've sort of had this realization before, but I've never had it in actual way. So for you to get the background, I was just journaling about what's going on right now, how there are so many tasks, or so for me unusually many tasks that I have to fulfill, and being as free as I am to sort of organize them myself, figure out when I want to do what, also gives me the responsibility of doing all of these things and actually fulfill the requirements and expectations. And I just wrote down that I'm now, like, that this is now the time also. I feel it also in regards to my ex-girlfriend, in terms of fulfilling expectations. And I just realized that, or also in terms of being a man and stuff like that, I just realized that I never actually had the ambition to actually fulfill other people's expectations. And even worse, I don't have I don't even expect myself to fulfill my own expectations. So if I raise expectations towards me, I don't even take them seriously, because I know, or something in me thinks or knows or whatever it does, that in the end I won't even do it, or I won't do it anyway. So that's weird, and I'm not so sure where it comes from, to be honest. And writing this down really makes me feel that this is something that is deeply connected and inherited with myself or within myself. And it's good to bring it out though. It's really good. It's just no fun. It really isn't fun at all. But yeah, I'm just gonna go on for another page and then start working, because again, I'm already in my time which I blocked for the actual work. I'm fine with those 10 minutes for this now, but then I need to start working. And also, that's part of it, actually, really sticking to plans that I've made, also in terms of, or maybe even specifically in terms of timing, punctuality and stuff like that, because that all goes hand in hand. And again, that's something I sort of know about and that makes sense, but I haven't really integrated it into my life yet. So yeah, we're back on track. Your life, this was pretty much a just in time, or even more than that, filming of the realization of the actual observing of my being. Oh hey, yeah, just in case you wondered, this is me, Saturday morning, being already late, a little bit in a hurry, not because I didn't have time to sleep, but I decided to stay on my phone for like 2 hours yesterday instead of going to bed after my friend was there. Yes, there was a lot to digest, but I doubt that I actually did it. It was more like a... So I haven't slept much, I didn't do the warning pages, and that's just what I do from time to time, especially when I smoke freaking weed. Just felt the need to have that on camera again, say it out loud. Could have picked up the car 15 minutes ago. It's a 20-minute bike ride. So I'm gonna need to go. It's a little bit hectic, but I'm gonna catch you up later. All right, so this is what I actually never, or actually not intended to do. That is talking under the influence. But I just came back from my brother and smoked joints, and obviously I did smoke, but I just had this super grateful moment for everything that's going on. We've been talking a lot about all these things, ex-girlfriend, job, but also so much inspiring, and like the inspiring things about all of this. So not just pitying and be like, oh, it's hard. No, quite the opposite. So creative, so cool to see other people having other ideas that you could never have thought of, and sharing inspiration and stuff's crazy. And also, I just realized that, I just thought a lot about this project again, since I haven't done a video today, and just prioritized a lot of other things again. But yeah, so I thought about this, and I felt like I needed a break, a pattern interrupt, since it was a lot yesterday, talking to Nikki, who has, with 2 evenings, become one of the better friends, definitely. So much trust, so many similarities, so much mutual understanding and similar thoughts, and even similar history is really crazy to experience in someone else, like, or being able to relate to so many stories that someone else shares with you. It's really crazy, but I'm so blessed, so pleased and blessed. Anyways, we've talked about so much and we went so deep that this in and of itself could have been a whole video. I was thinking a lot about, could I just put up my phone here and have sort of a peeky video of this, because this is so great. There were so many great topics that also helped me understand more of the chance, like to grab more of the chances that lay in all of this emotional trouble with the separation, and experiencing those different triggers, and the like seeing the pain in them, but also seeing the beauty in the chance, and seeing again that it doesn't matter which problems I see in her, because those are not the ones that I'm able to change. What I'm able to change is only my part, and there's always my part. So it doesn't really matter what she does or doesn't do. It's only about me dealing with, where do I want to have my boundaries? Where do I set my boundaries? Where can I open up? How do I feel that all of this stuff, being very considerate and conscious, there's so much beauty in that. It's such a chance to have someone in your life that is able to mirror you that way, you know, is able to detect even the slightest bit of inauthentic, I don't know what I'm trying to say, so inauthentic behavior or expression, even the slightest, makes this kind of woman feel insecure immediately, or uncomfortable for the lazy, which is crazy. There's such a huge thing to learn about this and to grow into, which is so nice. And again, everything is just exactly how it's supposed to be. That's what I realized. Sitting on my bike now, it's pouring rain, it's windy, it's like this nasty German fall day. And I sort of enjoyed it. At one point I was like, wow, this is the time where I can visit my brother in Cologne in his flat, meet his friend he met in Ecuador, have a beautiful evening after finishing my work, and blah, blah, blah. Being healthy, pushing with my bike, and realizing, okay, this is this time, this episode in my life where Ben and I live in the same city. We can have spontaneous evenings, we share friends, and that's great. while I'm in this crazy transitional phase with this project, but also with Winzo and stuff, there's so much going on right now, and also so much to consider and reconsider. Also, how I will handle the topics with getting to know other women, letting in new women into my life, being very conscious about that. And I already know that there's going to be a huge learning thing, because in a way, and I said it 3 weeks ago, and I thought, and it has changed, definitely. It does have changed, but in a way, I still need to be very, very careful of how much energy do I actually have to, to invest in meeting girls or women. Yeah, I just said it before. I want to say women, because there are women and I'm the counterpart. I just have to observe the benefits of that, and where I just again tap into old patterns maybe that deal more with recognition and being, or getting feedback rather, for who I am, and I don't know, but it's a good thing I don't need to know everything tonight. But this was important, and I know I'm gonna take my phone in the hands, but I talk to my 2-minute self. Just go to bed. Got a long day tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be meeting with Winzo again. I have to be in the storage place for Sharing Box tomorrow and do a, what do you say, trial run on a build up, on a setup that I don't know yet. And I need to cut. I need to edit the videos, get into workflow. Think of the 80-20 rule that my brother's friend told me today. Do the things that have 80% of, or check when you reach the 80% of what it does, because know that the last 20% will kill 80% of the time, which is great. But yeah, I'm trying to get into the workflow of that, and I definitely need to organize the videos on my phone. Every storage is being blocked. Okay, great. I need to take more videos. So, gotta do this for me now. So, Luis, when you see this is you after, again, spending a whole hour on nothing but stupid videos, while your 7-hour sleep goes to 6. And you're gonna be tired tomorrow, and you're gonna have to take a nap. And you have strange things to do, so it's gonna be hard to prioritize. And this just leaves a trace. You see it in my position, nothing really has changed. And the video was like 1.5 hours ago. So much for that. Gotta go to bed. My poor eyes. Hey friends, it's Monday, 11:15, and what might look like coming home is actually leaving the house for a little walk. Since I've sat on my ass for the past, when was I at home? 7:30 or so, and or even earlier. And I did some Winzo stuff, which I have been pushing away over the weekend because I prioritize other things. So now I did it today, and I didn't even finish it, but it took me like what was that, at least 4 hours now? Straight concentration, so I'm now super tired. I have been super tired before because I didn't sleep enough and well with all that smoking weed and shit. But now I feel like I need some fresh air before I go to rest. Finally get some hours of sleep in. Some real hours. I know you guys, you slept 6 hours. It might be, but it's not for me. It's just unarguably the case, at least for me. And yeah, I need to do a little recap anyways, because I don't know whether I do it now or later, because I want to have the 10K steps today and I'm lacking 3. I don't know how much time I have. But what I feel now is that I need to get into a lot of these working flows and see how I manage things, see how I manage this vlog. I've said it for like 8 times already, I know, but I also feel that a lot of things that I have been thinking about lately, and also that have been topic of discussion with other people, which mostly correlates to what I'm thinking about, has become quite theoretical again, and I feel I need to implement more again, at least go for my routines. I feel like how this, like, since I'm lacking all of this, or most of it for now, my head becomes quite chaotic, and it's actually interesting to see, like, I don't even know why the flat is so chaotic, or it looks like it at least. But at some point that just happens when my head is untidy as well and has like so many thoughts. So I am actually super happy that tomorrow, the only things I have to do tomorrow, or have to do, like people I want to see, is in the afternoon. So I want to use the whole day before, and actually use the whole day, not get up at 11, but maybe at 9. I go out now, we'll see, but early enough in order to make some shit happen, because I don't want to go into that feeling again of today where, like, yeah, I actually had to do other stuff over the weekend, or at least I prioritize other things. So that didn't quite feel well, and I feel like I want to get this done. I want to get it all done, and I want to be happy in those meetings and looking forward for those meetings, and not be frowning like I used to when I don't know, was working at other places where I just, again, didn't fulfill the expectations. But I have to tell you about what a great day it was yesterday, actually. Yeah, but I gotta go out first. So, like, this needs to be a little higher. New setup. This is the I'm not high and going to bed quite consciously and early setup before stretching. After the night walk, I made it to over 10K steps. I haven't even looked. But maybe that's a good transition and a good introduction to what I was thinking of talking about. Doing these steps and having worked for the past hours and getting shit done and having all these beautiful talks and all these beautiful things happening right now is such a great thing, and nothing to complain about. Actually, something to be actively proud of, or which could make me feel proud about myself. But interestingly, and I thought about this now, is that this right now is a phase, and there's probably multiple factors leading to this. Might be the darkness, still the separation, but I believe it's mostly me being a little bit overwhelmed by everything. Means that even though I process a lot of my thoughts in those talks I have, being super high and sleep deprived after makes me not have the time to process the actual talk and conversation, even though while it happens, some of the work already goes by, but the talk itself, I don't know whether that makes sense. It's just a lot happening, you know? It's like even going to yoga and having the relief of yoga is still doing yoga, and it's sort of input, still sort of something to process, to take in, because even with a thing like yoga where you actually calm down and take a breath and all these things happen, yet there's somewhat of feelings and impulses and thoughts that go along with them, and these things need my time and my energy to settle and to not overwhelm me. That's the thing. I feel sort of depressed, which goes along with the understanding of, oh yeah, I need deep rest, which is for somebody probably just a stupid lingo thing, but for me it makes sense. This is not being burned out. This is, of course not, I'm not burned out, but in an early stage of realizing that all the input I get is too much to process, that's pretty much a state. And I'm very happy and very glad that I have this outlet right now to, even though I feel it's too close, to talk to someone like me, but also the realization of, okay, today is definitely a day where I'm not smoking, and go to bed as early as I can, and maybe even postpone the meeting tomorrow and just have 9 or 10 hours of sleep to sort of get to zero again, or even above level, to approach all these things that are going on right now, because they do need a lot of attention. And emotionally, these are the days where I watch a lot of old photos and videos of that beautiful, lovely girl that I spent my last 2 years with, and sort of feel that I'm missing huge parts of this, which also leads to an ongoing, what do I do with this? What can I take out of it? Why does it have to be like this? Luckily, sort of knowing that we've actually taken it to the edge. There's actually no word left to say for the moment, while there's millions of more words to say, but nothing that might resolve the situation, which gives me a weird sense of calmness with this, because I'm like, yeah, I'm not going crazy. This is how it's supposed to be right now, because not that this had to happen in order to get me on another, or on this upscaling movement right now, yet it happened before that, and there's definitely a change of energy after that, that leads to the whole process right now, which again in and of itself is so necessary for succession, or the succeeding of any kind of relationship that is about to come, and resolving a lot of the issues, at least from my side, at least tackling a lot of the issues where I wasn't the man that I will be, and that I've already become in a way, where I wasn't the man that could actually hold the situation, hold this woman. At least for my part, this doesn't speak for her and for the progress she has to do in order to proceed. So there's always two sides, but what I've learned again and again, and lately, 2 days ago with the talk with Nikki, is that the only thing I can do is just talk for myself and tackle the issues that are in my hand, and not so much think about what she could have done, or where she might be standing, or what she might be feeling right now, because I don't know, and I wouldn't know, and B, there's so much going on within myself that I'm more than busy thinking about that and taking that in my hands, which is essentially, again, also the only thing I have influence over. What I was meaning to say is that this could be actually a similar video to the one I filmed in Byron Bay, where I felt so low, even though I was in the most beautiful place ever. And I feel that I'm feeling low in this beginning state of getting worse. And it's so interesting to observe it, and also by going to bed now sober. It's so strange that I have to say this. I have to say that I'm sober. Anyways, yeah, going to bed now and actually catching up some sleep will make me feel very different tomorrow. That's the cheapest therapy ever. Going to bed early. It's 1 a.m. now, so But it's good to have my brain calming down a little beforehand. But all of this calmness right now is really actually covering what feels like a huge insecurity, and I feel very vulnerable right now. And I feel there's some tears that need to come out at some point. And whilst I was walking through the rain in the dark night, I felt like I needed closure, you know, I needed someone, maybe myself even, to give me that long hug and say everything's gonna be okay. Because in times where I lose track of all these things, everything just appears to be so much, and I tend to feel so alone. I do feel very alone right now, which sort of correlates probably with the feeling of being overwhelmed, which makes the loneliness even worse because there's things attached to it. And that's where it gets tricky. How do I handle the vulnerability at that time? Do I take this time to let it in, to cry, to think about it, to be vulnerable, in order to get my shit done tomorrow and all the days after, without suppressing it, but also without letting it in on the wrong time. I don't know, it's weird. This darkness is really crazy. That's also a reason I want to get up earlier. Somehow I feel like there's a big change coming up. All of this, because I don't even know how this is all going on. This is more like an overall thought, an overall feeling right now. Yeah, something just feels really sad and lonely. All right, time to go to bed because that's the cure. Feeling safe in my bed.